Hey, welcome to another episode. This happens to be episode number 4. Hey, I have two more special guests on my show this afternoon. Unbelievable stories you're going to hear about their background and their football careers. Hey, let me bring them in right now. Hell, you see my shirt that I'm rocking? Hey, it's my son, Nik Needham. Welcome to the show. My nephew, Jaylinn Hawkins. Welcome to the show. Nick plays for the Miami Dolphins. Jaylinn plays for the New England Patriots. Hey, thank you guys for being on the show today.
I'm Paul. Appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely, man. I know you guys are off season right now, grinding, getting ready for the fall. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your schedule, man, to come and do this for me, man. So, let's just talk about the beginning, man, how we all kind of met. It was at Buena Park where we kind of connected. Actually, I met Jaylinn, your dad, first, and he was like, man, you need to bring Nick over to BP. We got a good thing going. And I was like, okay, let's get this rolling. Nick talked to me about, you went to Servite, you were transferring from Servite to Buena Park. Yeah. How was it adjusting that the first week or couple of weeks when you got to Buena Park?
No, I got you. Servite was an all-boys Catholic school, so that was a little different for me, obviously, because I've never been in a private school or an all-boys school for me. So I'm going there, just kind of trying to find myself in high school. Then I go to Buena Park. I remember we went to the game to see what they're playing J. Sarah, to see what they're going to play, see their players. I remember first game. Come in there, we watched Devin Boston, Jay Cousin. First play, he just touchdown, crib versus J. Sarah. I'm like, oh, they might be nice. And Jay score, he catching punt returns and stuff. I'm like, oh, they topped out there. I want to play here. So, we talked and then ended up going there. And then I think it was just the first time that we always laugh about it, the first time we met each other. I came in with the little Servite fit, khaki pants. They dirty from Servite. Clean up. This hoodie on, big baggy backpack, and they thought I was we was all goofy and stuff, and I was like, good, bro. Okay, cool. And after that day, it was just like this. They showed me around the school and introduced me to all the homies and stuff. And then after that, it was and then also knew a childhood friend, Joaquin.
Yep.
From Long Beach. He was at Winter Park too, and I didn't even know that. So
yeah, it
just came all full circle, and I'm very appreciative because that's where I found myself and met my best friends.
Absolutely. Jaylinn, do you remember the first time when you met Nick on Winter Park?
That was crazy. So we were all chilling. I was during lunch. I guess he just came in. He had his little backpack on hanging, big old khaki pants, 2XL sweater. I'm like, okay, all right, bro, let me go say what's up. You know what I mean? Let me fill out. I can't judge a book by its cover. So I went over there. I was like, oh, it's good, bro. He's like, oh, it's good, bro. Then I'm like, oh, he cool. You know what I'm saying? One of us, okay. You know what I'm saying? Let's lock in. Chopping it up, talking ball, talking music. And then from that point on, we were just locked in. And I was like, oh, that's my dog. And, it was cool because, I remember one of our first times on the field. It's cool. One of the first time I was on the field, he was at a corner. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm rounding him up. You know what I'm saying? I'm a young receiver. I'm real cocky. You know what I'm saying? Young high schooler. I run a snap. He locked me up. I said, "Oh shit!" Okay, he nice. I gotta come with my A game. But since then, man, we just been locked in. That's my brother for life. So
yeah, definitely. Hey, so I had the opportunity to work you guys' youth and high school camp last weekend. Unbelievable turnout you guys had. This was the second year you guys did it. The one thing I noticed right away when I got there was
the
third year. Oh man, okay. I apologize. Oh, I missed last year.
Yeah,
that's on me. Yeah, it's the third year. One of the things I noticed right away on the back of you guys' T-shirt, it says "Our Family" versus your team, and that's something that Coach White used to preach all the time. Anthony White passed away now about a year ago. I know he had a big impact in my life. I was able to talk to him just about just life in general, kids, football. Wow. He was an unbelievable sounding board for me just to be able to bounce ideas off of. Nick, talk to me a little bit about Coach White, the impact he had in your life, and if you could share a specific story.
Yeah, I could definitely do that. We wanted to put that on the back of the shirts because like you said, he's one of the main reasons I am in the position I am today. When I first got to Buena Park, Coach White, he was big on discipline, and like we all know, throughout my high school career, I kind of was like hard-headed and just like to test boundaries, I guess, which was not good, obviously, but I was just trying to learn. And so Coach White was putting it into that quick. Like, as soon as I came in doing some, just not, you know what I'm saying, not inline stuff, 200-yard bear calls. I'm like, hey, what is this? Like, hold on. I can't keep doing this. Or like, if you don't got the wristband, you eating last at team dinner, all that. Like, it was all, and it was only wristband, you only get it taken away if you're not doing the right things as a young man. So it was like, but we not thinking of that. We all young and stuff. So just going there, like I said, he really instilled that discipline and just battling adversity, because my one story with him is just, it was towards the end of the year, and I think I had to bear crawl again, and we was arguing, and then we kind of went to the side and talked, and he was just like, I know it's annoying, but like, I see what type of dudes you are, and I treat all my players differently. And I was like, yeah, I noticed that. But he's like, I got to push certain people to certain different limits to try to bring the best out of them. So when we had that little talk on the bench, I was like, okay, I get, like, I'm like, you didn't have to do all that. And he's like, yeah, I did, though. I did. He's like, yeah, I'm like, like, here you go. But that was probably the coolest story, because it was just, at the end of the day, I'm very grateful for that, because I know people in high school that have crashed out and just steered away from the right path. And like I said, I could have been on the same way if I don't listen. So having multiple people on you like that is, I'm very thankful for Coach White and RP.
Yep. Hey, and Jaylinn, you transferred in to Buena Park from Orange Lutheran. How was your first experience with Coach White? And then, and if you could share a specific story
for sure
where he impacted you at some point.
I would say, man, like the first time I ran into Coach White, I mean, I'm a local kid from Buena Park, so I'm hearing about the noise that's going on. They're doing pretty good. Hearing the impact that Coach White is having on the team, the stuff that he's implementing in the program. I'm at Olu at the time, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. But like our young class, everybody was transferring out, so I was figuring out where to go. I sat down, had a talk with him. He took all my family out, only coach to take all my family out to go eat, talk to us, and he just looked me and my dad in my eye, was like, look, man, you come here, we could take this thing to the next level. You know what I'm saying? And so I was just like, dang, like, I just seen that he trusted in me as a player and as a person, and he was going to push me to get there, like by Nick saying, not just with football stuff, but with life principles, the daily habits, the discipline, from the tittiest things, from everybody wearing white socks, no crazy shoes, all black shoes in the weight room, like stuff like that, So I was just like, you know what, prayed about it and ended up going there, and it really changed my life. It had a huge impact on my life. And I would say, man, the crazy story, like he said, I got one of them bear call stories. You know what I'm saying? It was one time, I think it was like my sophomore year. I forgot what happened. We came late or something like that to weightlifting class, and he was like, "Oh, you got a spider monkey 200 yards," and I'm like, "Damn, like this is crazy, 200, like I'm in the morning, like, okay."
Never started with 100.
Never started with 100. Went straight to 2. So I'm like, shoot. So I did it, but then it also made me realize, okay, accountability, man. Like as a man in life, like you got to be accountable. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's waiting around for you and stuff like that. So I mean, big ups to Coach White, man. Like I said, not just with only me, but with my family, had a heavy impact. Took care of all of us. Even my little brother came into Winter Park, kept it going, and even he trusted like you and my father to come in and help the program out. So ain't nothing but love, and I appreciate that, man, and RP. So.
Yep, definitely, awesome. So once Nick, once you left Buena Park, you ended up going to UTEP. One offer, I remember sending your film out from Oklahoma when you were doing one-on-ones. I sent it to Coach Rodriguez, who's now the defensive line coach for the Arizona Cardinals, and he was like, "Steve, stay on the phone. Let me just show my staff this film." And he, came back and was like, "Hey, we're going to offer him." And I'm like, I wanted to come get you out of class. I'm like, man, let's go. Because, it's been a grind, we're flying all over the country, to try to get you seen. What would when you took your visit to UTEP and you met the head coach, talk to us a little bit about making that transition and going to UTEP and how you grew there, not only as a football player but as a man.
I guess. So I think when I went on my first visit, that's when I really felt like someone, like a team really wanted me, just in general. Because there's always been battles through that, like middle school and daddy ball, people not playing, going to high school, like I said, going 3 different high schools and just playing just because of talent, I guess. But these, like you said, traveling all over the world, camps, and people just saying you're not good enough, and you're locking up some of their recruits to absolutely also not making sense in my head. So when I got the offer, I'm like, damn, this is a team that actually, or college, I never heard of UTEP. I'm like, I don't know, I guess I had text El Paso, okay, let's get it. But I went out there on the trip, I'm like, oh, this is dope. Actually have them care about me. Obviously, they care about me at Winter Park and where I was at too, but just like you're our guy, like we need you to come here and play the freshman, all this stuff. So it was cool to have that recognition and then go and play versus seniors and stuff and spring ball and actually compete and make plays and stuff was cool as well. But I also was just young and nervous a little bit because I've never been in that high pressure situation where the big stage, all that.
Yep.
So I redshirted because they wanted to play me, but I told them I'd rather redshirt. I'll play if you need me to, but I'd rather redshirt.
Mm-hmm.
I did that, and then just started finding my groove there and balling, and just UTEP taught me, because it's a small town, it's not really much to do. It's like one aisle of streets of bars that we go to for 5 years. It gets pretty old. But it just taught us hot as hell out there too. So that just taught me discipline as well. Like we got to get it in no matter if it's hot or not. But it also taught me, I was like my first time by myself, had to figure out being on time, routine.
Yes.
Not being late, or if you're late, what can I do to not make that happen again, not make the same mistakes? Doing that taught me to get it in by myself, grind, just hard work by myself, because throughout the years I'm balling and I'm seeing that other dudes get recognition and I'm not making the biggest plays, but I'm locking up dudes and I'm trying to figure it out. So I'm like, let's keep putting in this work. Spring breaks every time, me and Jay getting it in, flying home to work out, because that's kind of, like you said, what Coach White installed in us too, just discipline, hard work, and just go till the wheels fall off. So I was like, all right, I'm going to put my all into this, and then if it doesn't work out, it will, but at least I know I tried. So after senior year, we went 1-12.
Yeah.
And then junior year went 0. No, we went 1-11. My junior year went 0-12. So it was like battling that too also taught me adversity, because it's like we're not even winning in 2 whole years, but I'm still coming out here every day, practicing in the heat, grinding, getting it in. So it helped me with that too, because
there we go.
Obviously when I got to Miami, we started 0-8.
Exactly.
And everybody else looking around like, what's going on? It's easy for me. I'm trying to ball. It is for 3 years already. So it helped me with that too. I honestly thought it was good too. So it just taught me all that, and then met some of my brothers, Justin Rogers, Aaron Jones, Alvin, Kahani, AJ Hodgkins, Tez, Coop. It's a bunch of guys I met out there.
Just go stay in touch with.
Yeah, we just played an Aaron softball game.
There we go.
When was that? Last week. Saw those dudes, and that was cool too. Just keep the circle, football family alive, and it's just it was a blessing. I'm very grateful.
Awesome. Good deal. Yeah. Hey, so Jaylinn, you were a highly recruited player coming out of Orange County. You chose Cal. I didn't think you were going to choose Cal. I'm like, man, so people asking me, I'm like, man, that's my nephew. I got insider information.
Oregon or something.
Right, exactly. So what made you end up choosing Cal and over everybody else?
So I chose Cal because it was it was also an academic decision too. Mm-hmm. As long as with the school, kind of like what they did at the time. I was playing receiver, so I'm pretty sure a lot of people know about the Bear Raid offense. Jared Goff being there, it's 5 wide every play. I'm like, okay, cool, good receiving core, good, history of receivers getting drafted, all type of stuff. And then with the school, you know what I'm saying? I really wanted to take advantage of that. So I was like, okay, I'm far away from home, but also can come back to home. So I'm like, okay, let's go to Cal. I liked it. I fell in love with it when I went on my trip. So I was like, okay, cool. Ended up going there, though, and things switched around, though. Like, as soon as I got there, I was like, I went straight to DB. And I was like, hold on.
Was that their choice or was that your choice?
It was like 50-50, to be honest. Part of it was like, okay, I'm trying to get on the field quick, you know what I'm saying? Me and Nick played both ways in high school. We like, okay, we could do, so I'm like, oh, let me try to get on defense real quick. So they were like, okay, for sure, we're going to have you play corner. Because we was real thin at corner at the time. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, went out there, was doing my thing. I'm like, okay, turning up, got in the rotation early as a youngin'. And then played the first game, then adversity hit. I had torn my labrum. And so I was like, this is the first major major injury I went through. And I was like, okay, I got to get the surgery. I was kind of, battling a little bit. It's confusing to me. Never really went through any major injuries like that. So I was like, okay, cool. Tore my labrum, was out for like 6-7 months. Didn't play the whole season, redshirted that season medically. And then came back. Everything was going good at spring. And then they're like, hey, we want to put you at safety. You can play safety in high school. So I'm like, dang, this offensive school, I ain't come here to play. You know what I'm saying? Defense play, what's up? I'm like, hold on, you feel me? So I was like, all right, man, whatever. So I went to go play safety. Things were going good. Was familiar with it from playing for high school. And then I had broke my ankle that summer. So I'm like, dang, like what's up? Like, dang, like just randomly broke my ankle, like bad too, like tore some ligaments and everything. And then it had me thinking for a minute, like, damn, am I an injury-prone player? Is this over for me? Like, am I just gonna keep getting hurt? Like, is this what, you know what I'm saying? But end up overcoming that, end up sticking it through, and then staying at safety, even though I wanted to transfer personally. Wow. Calling my dad, like, Dad, I don't even want to be here for this. Like, this is not what I want to do. I'm very unhappy, but, I just stuck it through. And then the heavy impact that happened at Cal was when Justin Wilcox came to become our coach. My sophomore year, and Judd Alexander becoming our coach, that changed everything because we became more of a defensive-minded team. But the stuff that he implemented in our program, like, changed me as a person and as a player. Same with Judd Alexander, and I started to think more like a professional, do things like a professional, from the tedious things that they were instilling in us, that they were teaching us. I took those nuggets and really honed in on them. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna play safety, so I'm gonna lock in. I know I could do it. And then, like he said, man, I met some lifelong brothers that currently still play in the league right now. Ashton Davis, Cameron Bynum, Elijah Hicks, Trey Beck, my boy Josh Drayton, all of us. We were a tight-knit crew, and we used to end up just balling. You know what I'm saying? Judd Alexander, probably to this day, one of the best DB coaches that I had. Shout out GA, man. Nick had a tour in Miami, dog. Taught us the game like crazy. Like, made the game so easy, but taught it from a pro level, Used to call it above the neck knowledge. So he would give us that knowledge from week to week and everything like that. And, we just used it. At one point, I think 2018 year, we was the top DB corps in the nation over everybody the whole year. We had like 26, 27 picks combined. And then senior year, we ended up balling as well. And then we all, and still playing, thank God for that and him. But, like, that just shows, like, what type of program we ran over there. Stuff that Justin Wilcox implemented, the accountability, the stuff like that. Same as Coach White. So I was blessed to have people like that in our lives. And one thing that I still, that sticks with me from college that I learned from both of them, one thing is, like, leaning out your life. Justin Wilcox always just said, leaning out your life. When you lean out your life, you have clarity, you'll perform better, you'll do things better, you'll execute better as a person, like eliminating all the BS, all the distractions, and all the stuff that don't really matter, cutting out the fat, you're going to be more, more efficient. And then with GA, man, just above the neck football, like the stuff that he taught us how to study the game, how to look at concepts, how it's a copycat league, stuff like that. Like, that above the neck stuff still sticks with me to this day, along with the technique. And I'll use that when I implement implement that in my studies day to day. So thankful for them for showing the whole Cal football organization, man. It's Cal gang.
There you go. Definitely. Hey, so let's talk about the next transition, going from college to the NFL. I remember, you're the late Nick. You're the leading pass breakup corner at UTEP. You have the record for the most pass breakups, right? So I'm like, man, every time you played against, the big schools, whether it was Tennessee or Oklahoma, you always strapped up. And I'm like, oh man, he had a chance to get drafted. Like, okay, so we're hearing, okay, maybe 4th round. We got invited down to the draft, down in Nashville. We're like, man, okay, get drafted. Yeah. So met Roger Goodell. I'm like, okay, hey, Roger, can I get you drafted? Okay, yeah. I get you on the rocks. I'm like, man, exactly. So I'm like, okay, draft day comes. You don't get drafted. You're not drafted free agent. The agent calls you. Now he narrows it down to, okay, there's 8 teams or 7 teams that wanted your services. You ended up choosing Miami. How was it when you first got there? When you first got to Miami?
When I first got to Miami, I chose them first of all. They just was the team that kept it the most honest with me, and just like I said, when Josh Boyer was there, he had the undrafted title. Like, I got undrafted guys that's balling and making plays and doing well for themselves. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that. When I first pulled up, it kind of was just like, as undrafted, you kind of feel like, do they really want me, or is it like you're just here to be a camp body? Like, I don't know what's going on. And then like you said, not going in the combine or not doing any of that. I was just kind of weird in my head. But then I was just like, just did the same shit I always do. Same stuff I always do. Just take it day by day. So I went up there. First thing, obviously, I noticed that it's super hot, and humid, and I already sweat a lot. So I'm like, this is not gonna be good. So had to figure that out. Training camp, started balling. Actually, was making plays. I just was carrying that UTEP weight on me from that Whataburger every day. So like 210, not to save, like 212 at corner. Like, I got strap up for like 2 plays, but then I'm gonna get tired and like not be able to chase nobody. So it was bad. But them plays I was locking up, they're like, okay, we might go some. So yeah, did that, and then failed the conditioning test. And they said, if you fail it again when you come back, we're just gonna catch you. I'm like, oh, wow, yeah. Like, nice. So I'm running the conditioning test every day on the treadmill. Like, this is not gonna be the way I go out. Like, there's no way. Because I was the only one that failed this. It was embarrassing. Wow. Yeah, so it was bad. But yeah, then came back, talked to the family, everything, and locked in about it, and then went back training camp.
Here we go.
Did that, did the preseason. Was starting every game preseason, so I'm like, oh, this is not really normal. Okay. Getting did in, because I was just nervous and stuff, so that was also not, I just wasn't myself, because it was all, I've never played on the big stage like that, so it was a lot to take in. But me not knowing, they did that on purpose to like, let's get it out the way early.
Yeah.
So when it's really time, he's not even thinking about none of that.
There you go.
So I think of that. That's what they did, because obviously when it came to cut day, 53-man, I didn't make it, which was one of the most sickening days of my life.
Yeah,
for sure.
With adversity?
Yeah, another adversity. Yeah, they had called me 5 times. I'm like, that can't be me. Like, they're definitely not calling me to cut. Yeah, the same number kept calling. I answered. I'm like, look, bring the iPad. All right. So, yeah. So that was another, like I said, just stacking moments, only moments. Did that, then got cut. Got back, P squad, got my body right, started, and then shit, I haven't looked back since. Just been making plays and trying to stay on the field and
that's it.
Represent, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to do some research, or have some of my producers do some research to see if there's an undrafted free agent that's been with one team for going on 6 years. Oh yeah. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to ask Sear. But yeah, that's it.
A lot of dudes I came with that was even drafted. Not a lot even still playing until.
Yeah. All right, Jaylinn, talk to us about your draft day. Where were you projected? Where were you hearing from your agents or from teams? You had all the experiences that Nick didn't. You went to the combine. You played in the East-West. I mean, not in the East-West. You played in the NFLPA game out here. So what was that process like
Man, that process was crazy and hella stressful. I ain't gonna lie. Excited, but like stressful. I remember during that time, like, you know, because we had a couple players on our defense that I played with during the time that, you know, I was like, man, I'm trying to go to the Senior Bowl, you know, because at the time it was Senior Bowl and East West, like those were the two top. So I'm like, damn, I'm trying to go to one of them, you know, texting my agent, I'm like, man, so what's up, what they saying, we do what they whoop. And two of my dogs that I played with got to the Senior Bowl, my boy Ashton and Evan Weaver. I was like, okay, shoot, like, okay, what are they saying? They're like, we don't have enough. If there's an extra body, we may invite him, but we don't see him being a Senior Bowl invitee. So I was like, okay, for sure. Like, all right, cool. And then East West was like, yeah, we're full. And I'm like, okay, for sure. Like, okay. So the NFLPA reached out. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to go show what's up. So went to the PA game, man. Had a real good week of practice, man. Got like one of the practice or team players of the day or one, like ended up balling, having a good day, a couple PBUs out there balling, hitting, stuff like that. So ended up showing out, man, played well in the game. And then some people were also saying in the beginning, like, we don't think he's a combine invite type guy, you know. So I was like, dang, like I bought like 11 pigs, you know. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, for sure, man. I'm gonna let God work his magic. So I trusted my agent, ended up going to the combine, didn't run, had like a hamstring issue, but I did the drills. Like did really well, man. I mean, in my eyes, I feel like I went there sold out, man, and did, you know, the stuff that I did well, interview well. And then you know, COVID hit. Nobody, you know, I came out during COVID, so it's 2020. And so I had no pro day. So I'm like, I was planning to run at my pro day. Team's calling like, hey, so we want you to run at the pro day. You know, we like what we saw, all this type of stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. So then COVID hit. So then they're like, we send out all pro days. So I'm like, oh, so this the time everybody filming their 40, turning in. You know what I'm saying? How to film them.
Yards.
Everybody 38 yards. Everybody running 4.5s and 4.4s, 4.3s. So I'm like, damn, my agent like, can you film a 40? I'm like, I mean, yeah, but like, how much are they gonna believe it? Like, you know, so end up having to deal with that. So it was just cold turkey. So I'm just training. I'm with Nick. This is Nick first off season. We just training, getting it in. And I was with you too, training. And combine came around. I mean, the draft came around, and I was getting a whole bunch of grades. So my agent called me and was like, man, you got grades 3rd round all the way down to 7th, and some teams don't even want you. I was like, okay. For sure, like, all right, at least, you know what I'm saying? all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just let God handle it. So it was, I watched day 2, my name didn't get called. And then day 3, we were all at the house early morning, chilling. And my agent was like, okay, I think this is the day for sure. And I'm just sitting there with the fam, you know, chilling, ate breakfast. Then phone call, 404. I'm like, 404. 404. I'm like, 404. I'm like, oh, they're like, Jaylinn Hawkins? You know what I mean? And I was like, I ain't gonna lie, that moment, that was probably the craziest moment of my life. I felt like everything just flashed in front of my face, and I was just like, whoa. Like,
hey, real quick, did the Falcons show a lot of interest, like during the combine?
Oh.
Yeah.
So I met with my safety coach, Coach Mallory at the time. I met with him once at the combine, just once. Didn't do no private or big interview with them. No. I just did a one-on-one with him, and I was just outside in the powwow time, like we were just chilling. But they called, and everything just flashed in front of me, and I was just so turned. I'll never forget that day, screaming in front of the TV, everybody screaming. We turned. I'm getting all these cars for blowing up. Followers go from like 3K to like 16K. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything boom. And then I remember my boy Nick was there at the time, and I was just like, dang, like, we had a moment, you know, obviously, I ain't gonna lie, we was turning up, we was drunk, gotta be real. We was chilling, we was just like, dang, like, bro, we both, like, doing what we talked about since we were in high school, like, this is hella dope, like, we both in the league, bro, like, this is real. So then go on to the league, I go to camp, have a good camp my rookie year, I'm not gonna lie, I'm behind Keanu Neal, which is a great vet. And I had great safeties in the room, Carter Allen, DeMonte Casey, you know, great people to learn from. And I sat there, I was ultra competitive, but I learned like, okay, when you get into the league, you gotta find your role and execute at that role no matter what it is. And so I was like, okay, I'm backing up right now. I'll get in some sub packages, but on special teams, I'm gonna go crazy. So I went in those special teams and became one of those special team aces, running down on kickoff, playing, KOR, blocking those big linebackers running down the field. So I was like, okay, I'm going to embrace this role. Ended up having some, got a couple starts my rookie year, played good. Then my second year, through that first year, we had a coach's change in Atlanta. And, coach got fired. Then come my second year, we get a new coach, Arthur Smith. Ended up playing more in my second year. Started like half the season. Ended up balling, getting a couple picks, making plays on the ball. And then my third year, I was a full-time starter. Did pretty good as well. Had a couple picks. Played pretty good. Built on my resume, And then year 4, we get into my contract year last year. But it was going cool. Got a lot of cap space. We paid a guy to come in, pay my dog, you know what I'm saying? Which is a tremendous help to the team because my dog is a baller, Jesse Bates, I'm going to say his name, baller. And, for me, going at that time, like, okay, this is my contract year, and it's like, okay, I'm trying to get the biggest, maximize, my time. And everything was going good. Played well during camp, had, like, my best training camp, best OTAs, kept going strong, and then, beginning of the season, ended up going through some money issue with the team. So the business side of things really showed up, and I was like, whoa, that hit me out of nowhere. That was very unexpected, and I was just like, dang, like, okay. So I'm like, well, like, hold on. So I ended up going through some business things. I disagreed upon them. They asked me to do certain things, incentivize my contract, whatever. Right. Disagreed on it. So then I asked the team, hey, can you guys grant me a trade release? It's kind of a back and forth for a moment. Then they're like, okay, respect you as a player. So now I was like, okay, cool. Left and went to the Chargers. So, this is very unexpected. I didn't expect to do none of this. This year, anything like that, I expected, okay, I'm going to do my thing with ball, and then I'm going to get paid. So I'm like, damn, okay, what is God trying to do? That's the main thing through all this. And then ended up going to the Chargers, having some success there. Things will end up going good, learn the playbook quick. Then their coach get fired. Yeah. So then I'm like, okay, and
now you're with the Patriots.
And now just hit free agency. Patriots called me, man, and showed the best love and signed a contract with him, and just blessed to being able to keep on and keep the dream alive and keep playing, and you know what I'm saying. So it's cool.
So I think it's November 22nd, Dolphins Patriots in Miami. I'll be there.
It's going down.
We're good. Yeah, Patriots up. Good deal. Well, hey, first of all, I just want to thank you guys for being on the show, sharing your experiences. I know a lot of young guys are listening, and you guys drop some really good nuggets that they can actually follow and help apply and help their game and just understand, like you talk about. I mean, just trim the fat and the stuff around you that don't, have any influence on your life, man. Just cut it out.
Yeah.
So, but definitely, continued success. Big rocks, little rocks, small hammer. You guys know.
Oh, we are in May 1.
Yeah. So, hey, thank you to another. Thank you for tuning in to another show. You can definitely find this on my YouTube channel, Steve Calhoun, Armed Dangerous Football, on X, which is now used to be Twitter, now it's X. Armed Danger QBS, and of course on Instagram, Armed Dangerous. So tune in to one of those my social media platforms. Check out the show, and hopefully I'll see you next week.